Disney makes a majority of their revenue through their theme park attendance, which is a good thing for them, all things considered, because they really haven't been making a ton of money these last couple of years at the box office or on their Disney Plus platform. So it's a good thing that they're not relying on those two revenue streams for their bread and butter. But their domination of the theme park industry might not necessarily be lasting too much longer, because even though Disney has made announcements for multi-billion-dollar expansions, next year Universal is going to be unveiling their Epic Universe, and everything that we see coming from that leads many to suggest that it's going to be a Disney killer. I don't necessarily think it's going to make Universal Orlando be number one in theme parks in the world, but right now they're around number 4, and I do think it has the potential to take away a significant amount of business from Disney, and that's business that they can't afford to lose right now. And even though Disney has some announcements for expansions, anything that major that would actually take away from Universal's Epic Universe is still many years down the road. But they are making some changes right now, and they just unveiled one of their more recent ones, which is the reskin of Splash Mountain in favor of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But it's looking like that's not really well received either. We have the video for it right here on their YouTube page here. I'll just mute the sound so not copyright strike or anything like that. But so far, if you look at the like to dislike ratio, it's pretty abysmal for it. And this is the official Disney Park site. And you can even look at the comment section of this video, and it's not much better either. I agree with what Bob Iger reportedly said after writing it. This is really boring. Unconfirmed, but okay. The greatest missed opportunity in Disney park history is to leave out Facilier and not have Are You Ready playing while going up a hill for the final drop. Yeah, a lot of people have been pointing that out. The entire ride feels AI generated, from storyline to props to dialogue. I will be fair to this, because the animatronics I think do look good, and that just has to do with the fact that it's more modern day animatronics here. I'll see if I can find a portion of the video that showcases them a little bit better or something. Yeah, there's decent movement to it. They look fine, accurate to the movie. See if I can find some more. Here's a little bit more. Okay, those are just kind of simple, but him dance. She's not really doing anything there, but whatever. And notice how I'm just kind of skipping around, because that's one of the problems a lot of people have with this ride, is that there's a lot of dead space in it, and these screens and other things like that. People really don't like it. It's just foliage and screens, and that's about it. Okay, she's just sitting there. I thought this was kind of strange when I was watching, because you see this kind of lead up to it where she's just kind of sitting there doing nothing, and you have to get closer for it to kind of trigger any response. And I don't know. I think they shouldn't have designed it this way. Maybe it's like around the bend, and as soon as you go around the bend, that's when she starts talking, because it seems strange that she's just kind of sitting there waiting for you. But whatever, that's just how it is. Yeah, more screens, and I don't think these screens actually look that good. I think screens can be decent in certain rides, but I don't think it really works for what they're going for on this one. And that's what a lot of people are complaining about when it comes to this ride in particularly, is that it really just feels kind of lifeless. And that's not just me saying this either. We got this article right here from WDW Magic, where they're talking about the initial response to the reskin of Splash Mountain or whatever. And it seems like no one is happy with the choice to actually change this, because they wanted to make a Tiana ride because she's the only black princess that they have. So they wanted to make something for her. And a lot of people are upset with this, because they're thinking like, what, she's not good enough to get her own ride. You just basically have to give her a handy-down of Splash Mountain. Fans of Splash Mountain are pretty upset about this, because that was such an iconic ride for the Disney parks, and now they're changing it and got rid of her. And then even like the woke crowd that they're trying to appease are upset with this, because of the whole, oh, you're just giving her the hand-me-down sort of thing. So pretty much no one is satisfied with what they're doing with this ride. And this could be forgivable if the ride was actually enjoyable and people liked what they did with it. But it seems like they tore down Splash Mountain and replaced it with something inferior, or at least that's what a lot of these initial reactions are saying about it. According to this article, they're taking a bunch of initial reactions, and that's basically just looking at the comments from the first several days of that announcement video that they posted, and just kind of tabulating what people had to say about it. And it's really not good. The ride, which replaces the iconic Splash Mountain, has sparked a wave of mixed reactions among YouTube viewers. We reviewed the first 1,500 YouTube users' comments submitted in the first 6 hours of the video's debut to compile the summary. It should be noted that the comments we reviewed are all based on Disney's official POV, not in-person ride experiences, and they are the opinion of YouTube users and not WDW Magic. Like I was saying, this is basically just kind of summarizing the video that I already showed you with the huge like to dislike ratio and just kind of compiling what the comments are saying. And here's the consensus. Story and narrative, a missed opportunity. Yeah, there really wasn't much of a story to it. It was just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff thrown together with Princess and the Frog themes. Comparison to Splash Mountain, yeah, you're naturally going to get those comparisons because you're changing Splash Mountain into this new thing. So a lot of people are pointing out that they like the old Splash Mountain better. And I think there's always going to be people who, no matter what, even if this is somewhat better, people are going to still prefer the original. And I can understand that, but it seems like a lot of people are even saying they're changing it. And at best, they're saying it's not worse than it, but most people are saying it's actually worse with what they're trying to do because of other reasons that they have here. Criticisms of empty spaces. Yeah, there was a lot of dead space in it, and people pointing out the ride itself is very dark, and they say it's very dark because they're trying to cover up the fact that there's really not a whole lot there. So yeah, that's obviously fair criticism. No Dr. Facilier. Yeah, they probably should have had Dr. Facilier. Points out right here, the greatest missed opportunity in Disney park history is to leave out Facilier and not have Are You Ready playing while going up the hill for the final drop. Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense, but they didn't do that. Praise for animatronics and visuals. And yeah, the animatronics look really good in this. It just goes with them being more modern than the animatronics for the original Splash Mountain. But still, there's problems with that as well, because there's been reports of a lot of ride stoppages and other things like that the last several days since it's not officially open yet. They're still kind of opening it for testing and other stuff like that. And I think I heard it was only up for like 3 hours a day since they started opening it for their testing because of ride stoppages and other maintenance issues. I think a lot of people are making more of this than what it really is because it's still a new thing. They're kind of working out the bugs. If it's having stoppages like this, then after it's officially open, well, then that's a problem for them. But this is the time where you're supposed to have those stoppages and work out all the issues. So as long as they can fix it before the ride officially opens, then no problem there. But if they are actually still having problems with it, well, then that's a problem with them. Mixed reactions. And I think that's being kind of generous because the reactions, I guess they are a little bit mixed in that you have 8.4K upvotes to 18K downvotes. So I guess there are some positive reactions, but I would actually say for the most part, these are negative reactions for this ride. And this is something that Disney did not expect. They were hoping that this would be like something that people would get behind. But if this is supposed to compete with Universal, then I'm sorry, they need a lot more than this. At best, just something that's not worse than what you already had. You need to do something because Universal is making several new lands attached to their Orlando theme park. And when we saw the Super Nintendo World, when that opened up in Tokyo Universal, well, then what was it? It went from like number 12th or whatever most visited theme park in the world to like number 4th or something like that in the span of a year because of that one park. And Universal Orlando is going to be having Super Nintendo World, the How to Train Your Dragon area, Universal Monsters, an expansion to the Wizarding World. So they're doing a lot more than what Disney's doing. And even though I was pointing out how they're going to be investing billions of dollars into their theme parks, and this also includes their cruise lines and theme parks around the world, they really haven't announced a whole lot of stuff in their domestic theme parks. Basically, the stuff they're going to be doing at their Orlando resort is just kind of more of what we're seeing with Princess and the Frog, just kind of reskinning existing things right there. And it's looking like that's not going to be enough for them. So if this is really their next big thing, then I'm sorry, they're in for a rude awakening because, like I was saying, people saw what they had to do here and they're just not having it. There. This is the future of Disney right here. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Do you think this ride looks fine? Do you think it looks better than the original Splash Mountain or do you think this the original one is better? There is a ride comparison video that has a side-by-side. I will leave a link to that in the description of this video if you want to check out that too, so you can see a side-by-side comparison. But I'm curious what people have to say about this. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And if you can, like and share the video because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.